Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yep. Time for, okay.
So we have a very interesting topic here today. Now, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to tell what you think about the whole Meghan Markle, Prince, situation. Well, yesterday, Michelle Obama had an interview where she talked about how, her take on it. And she said something that I've never seen or never really, it's a different perspective. Note everything that's been happening about the royal family, the claims of racism, bullying, and all of that. Now, she said this. She said, first off, note that it's very different when you are in some sort of quagmire, or you guys are on TV, but regular people. Note that the spotlight makes issues really big. And note that at the end of the day, these issues that they're going through are actually family issues. It being thrown into public jury makes it a totally different, and gives it a totally different anatomy. I just respected what she said, because what she was trying to point out was it's actually, to some extent, a very private issue. Claims of racism and all of that, yes, not to be thrown out the window, but then again, let's also just step back a minute and think about it. These are family issues.
I disagree with that take.
You disagree with it?
In two different ways. First off, the monarchy is not just a family.
It is out there already.
Yeah, it's more than just a family. It's
an institution.
Exactly, it's an institution. So it's more than just family. They have rules, they have values, they have modus operandi and all of that. Things that don't apply in normal families apply in the monarchy. So it is not just a family. And I mean, one of, like Meghan had mentioned, said one of the major issues she had was that her son was not going to be a prince.
She's breathing fire already.
You understand? So
no, I'm not breathing fire.
She's been a public figure also.
All her life anyway.
Yeah, so what you're going to do, you're going to come out.
Okay, so I am on both sides, to be honest. But, Mike, you also need to remember that being a part of the monarchy, it is like being bound by secrecy.
Yeah, well, there have been all those conspiracies about the monarchy.
So there are a lot of things that happen, within in their private lives that shouldn't go out there. It's not for the public's. It's not for the jury, the public to be a jury on it. It's extremely private, and it should be respected.
Whatever is happening in there. I mean, these things have their tenets in certain values that are no longer tenable now in our modern time.
Yeah, but
when talking about racism, for instance, talking about there's so much that goes on.
Yeah, it's almost
back in those days would be okay,
almost
but
the same
now,
thing.
You can't do that.
With the legend Peter Doce and all of that, which I don't have any problem with all he said. You understand? But what applied then
doesn't apply now.
Apply now. I mean, prior to his time, when the early men, the Homo, erectus, were here, where you had to go out. I mean, for kind of, if you saw a lady, if both of us wanted to woo her, we'll go outside and go and fight. You understand? And beat each other and all of that. And you understand?
Winner takes all.
During his own time, that wouldn't have been, possible. That was not, So times evolve. So someone said it, and that's quite true. Going to meet him and start asking him about this guy. You should be asking him about how Nollywood, can step. So some kind of questions. Don't be asking about this kind of questions.
Yeah, but are you saying that there were some truths to what he said?
It worked for them. You understand? It is not. The society has evolved. Those things, those tenets are not applicable now.
I'll say something about it working for them. I don't think that it really worked for them. It could have back then with the
that's what I'm saying. It worked for them then.
Knowledge and everything, but then again, that also set a structure for what our culture is right now. The way we even treat women, for instance, comes from all of that. So it's about time that
it's
changes.
It's changing. And I feel like it's the same with us. There's some things that are happening now that, look, I know some people that they hate the idea of, I remember the time when you go to a religious house and they tell you that, it was a joke at one point that how would you carry your iPad to the church?
Now instead you can't do without it.
Instead of a Bible, that the iPad is not, trying to say that, look, you had to go, it had to be the book. Things are evolving. Our children will be reading Kindles. You will probably not see hard covers again. They are being phased out. So at every point in time, there's always that shift. That thing, that paradigm, you have to move and all of that. And,
Emma, I don't know if this has happened to you and your kids, but something he just said really just recalled something that happened to me just yesterday with my daughter. Driving her back from school, and then she looks at the car, and she looks at the slit where the CD goes in, and then she asked me, Daddy, what is this?
Exactly.
I'm like, it's a CD. It's your generation, actually. But
It's going out.
when was the last time you played a CD?
Played a CD,
in your car?
right?
No, I've never. So look, I've never used it. Never. In my car,
You
never.
use your Bluetooth or your
Exactly.
Yes, or
USB.
the flash,
Yeah,
or the
or
USB. I've
USB.
never used it. Even at home, the DVD, I've never used it.
Yeah, well, so
I think the only time I ever used it was when I got an FRC disc or something. Never used it.
okay, unfortunately, there are a couple of things I'd like to say now, but then we have to go
We'll
on a quick
continue
break.
later.
Yeah, we'll
I'd love
continue
to
this
hear you.
conversation later. Stay with us. We'll be right back.